Have you ever thought about visiting a country tucked away in the heart of Asia? One that often goes unnoticed on maps. That place is Kyrgyzstan. Around 6.5 million people call it home, with Bishkek as its capital and main political and economic hub. Even though it doesn't have access to the sea, the country stands out for its rivers and lakes, which sustain entire communities. Take the Naran River, for example. Its waters irrigate crops and generate the electricity that powers cities. Then there's the Chu River, which flows through Bishkek before joining the Sir Darya, highlighting its importance to the region. In the northwest, the Talas River winds through a valley of the same name, creating landscapes shaped by towering mountains and deep-rooted traditions. Despite being landlocked, Kyrgyzstan makes up for it with mountain ranges that dominate much of the scenery. Valleys where rural life moves at its own pace, rivers that fuel the economy, and lakes that mirror the sky. Around every corner there are hidden gems waiting to be discovered in a land still full of mysteries. Want to learn more? Keep following along and explore what this unique country has to offer, right in the heart of Central Asia. In ancient times, different nomadic groups roamed this region, including the Scythians, Sogdians, and Uzuns. Around the 2nd century BC, the territory became part of the Chinese Empire, which brought significant influences to local life. With the arrival of the Middle Ages, Islam took root, a result of Arab incursions that reshaped customs and values. Later, in the 13th century, the Mongol rule led by Genghis Khan extended to this area, further impacting its political and social structure. Moving forward to the 19th century, Kyrgyzstan became part of Russia's expansion into Central Asia, when Russian administration and colonization left a lasting mark on the region. Each of these periods shows how different peoples contributed to shaping Kyrgyzstan's identity. Today, beyond its ecotourism roots, the country preserves traditions that reflect its rich multicultural heritage. Have you ever stopped to think about how history has shaped every corner of the world? In Kyrgyzstan's case, things started changing drastically after the Russian Revolution of 1917. That was when the country was integrated into the Kyrgyz Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, within the Soviet Union. During the Soviet era, rapid industrialization took place, along with the rise of collective farms, which transformed the lives of many local communities. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Kyrgyzstan finally declared its independence, opening a new chapter filled with challenges and opportunities. But history isn't the only fascinating thing about this place. Its towering mountains hold a secret that few people know about. Women with a striking beauty, often considered among the most captivating in all of Asia. For decades, the natural isolation of these mountains kept these women away from foreign eyes. Today, their uniquely shaped eyes, full lips, and distinctive silhouettes spark curiosity and admiration among visitors. It's this contrast, between a past shaped by deep political transformations and a rich cultural heritage, that makes Kyrgyzstan such an intriguing destination. In Kyrgyzstan, this is the norm. Women are expected to be reserved and maintain a calm demeanor. In many cases, they avoid behaviors that could be seen as rude or offensive, reinforcing the image of warmth and politeness that often defines them. This open and friendly attitude makes it easier to connect with new people, but mutual respect is key. Rude or disrespectful men are generally not well received, as good manners and respectful behavior play a big role in local interactions. In the southern regions of the country, as well as in smaller villages and towns, traditions are even more deeply rooted. It's common to see women with long braided hair, colorful silk dresses, and headscarves, symbols that carry the history of the region. However, there is also a delicate issue: early marriage. Many young girls end up getting married before they turn 18, often without having the chance to make the choice for themselves. In some families, old traditions and social pressures outweigh individual desires, which can be surprising to those from different cultural backgrounds. As time goes on, many women in Kyrgyzstan face increasing expectations to get married. This reality requires patience and understanding from anyone who approaches them, as intimacy before marriage is still considered a sensitive topic, especially from a cultural perspective. Some displays of affection, like hugs and kisses, might be more accepted by those with a less conservative mindset. but premarital sex is generally met with strong disapproval. Meanwhile, the country itself showcases breathtaking landscapes in Central Asia. Bordering Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and China, Kyrgyzstan is defined by its towering Pamir and Tian Shan mountain ranges. In these rugged regions, lakes and rivers wind through valleys and slopes, creating a diverse environment rich in plant and animal life. Imagine a place where the official language has Turkic roots and underwent a major script change during the Soviet era. That place is Kyrgyzstan, where most people speak Kyrgyz, a language that today is written in Cyrillic. Interestingly, before adopting this alphabet, Kyrgyz speakers had already used Arabic script and, for a time, the Latin alphabet. But Kyrgyz isn't the only language in play. Russian, which gained strength during the Soviet period, is still widely used in offices, schools, and businesses. It's common to find fluent Russian speakers, creating a bilingual environment in many parts of the country. On top of that, minority groups like Uzbeks, Uyghurs, and Kazakhs bring even more languages and dialects into everyday life, reflecting the country's rich ethnic diversity. This linguistic mix isn't random. Kyrgyzstan's history, shaped by Soviet influence and the blending of different cultures, has molded the way its people live and communicate. Geography also played a role, as trade routes crossing its mountains and valleys helped spread customs and ideas over time. In the valleys and mountains of Kyrgyzstan, nomadism isn't just a relic of the past. It still shapes the way many families live today. Generation after generation, family groups move their herds with the seasons, following ancient trails that connect the present to their ancestral roots. This cycle, repeated for centuries, shows how nomadic herding remains a core part of Kyrgyz identity. But local culture goes far beyond this wandering tradition. Music and dance also play a big role, bringing people together during moments of celebration. The komuz, a traditional stringed instrument, carries melodies that tell stories from long ago, while folk dances like Karajorgo and Chubdan unite different generations through lively rhythms. Imagine stepping into a circular structure set in the heart of Central Asia's mountains. That's a yurt, the iconic tent of the Kyrgyz nomadic people, a symbol of their deep-rooted traditions and strong sense of identity. Following the path of local culture, you'll find a cuisine filled with diversity. Beshbarmak, made with meat and noodles, is one of the most popular dishes, while lagman, a hearty noodle soup, brings flavors influenced by different parts of the region. Throughout the year, various festivals celebrate this rich heritage, such as the Nowruz Spring Festival, the Tamchi Music Festival, and the World Nomad Games, each offering a unique glimpse into the soul of Kyrgyzstan. For visitors, the landscapes are an open invitation to adventure. Towering mountains, crystal-clear lakes, and vast open fields create the perfect setting for hiking, climbing, skiing, and wildlife spotting. On top of that, Kyrgyz hospitality ensures that everyone feels welcome, making every experience even more special. When choosing where to stay, it's worth considering the different accommodation options available. Whether in bigger cities or rural areas, there are choices to fit different traveler profiles, always balancing comfort and a close connection with nature. Kyrgyzstan blends safety, vibrant culture, and stunning natural beauty, offering visitors the chance to create unforgettable memories, while discovering a country that remains in perfect harmony with its nomadic roots. Imagine arriving in a place where every door opens with a genuine smile. That's how the Kyrgyz people welcome those who cross their path, with food, drinks, and gestures of friendship that reflect a deep-rooted sense of community. Hospitality is part of their essence, a tradition carried on from their nomadic ancestors, who always valued meaningful connections and close relationships. Life in Kyrgyzstan revolves around family and bonds that stretch across extended relatives. Cultural festivals and celebrations bring together not just parents, children, and grandparents, but also uncles, cousins, and lifelong friends. In these gatherings, traditional clothing holds great significance, featuring patterns and designs that tell stories of history and belief. But what makes Kyrgyzstan truly special goes beyond its culture. Nestled between the Tian Shan Mountains and Lake Issyk-Kul, the country offers breathtaking landscapes that captivate visitors with their mix of high-altitude beauty, crystal-clear waters, and rare natural scenery. It's in this contrast between mountains and lakes, that Kyrgyzstan earns its reputation as the most unique country in the world, showcasing not only its stunning landscapes, but also the warmth of a people who have built their way of life along the remote routes of Central Asia. Have you ever imagined a place where modern life coexists with traditions passed down from nomadic ancestors? In Kyrgyzstan, this balance is part of everyday life. Despite growing urbanization, many families still follow ancient customs, such as herding livestock in open fields and living in traditional yurts. This blend of the new and the old enriches local culture in a truly unique way. Another interesting aspect is that the Kyrgyz language is written in the Cyrillic alphabet. For those used to the Latin alphabet, this stands out and adds to the feeling of being in a completely different place. Looking deeper into history, you'll also find the legacy of the ancient trade routes that passed through the region, such as the Silk Road, which left a lasting mark on the country's culture and economy. This mix of history, culture, and tradition makes Kyrgyzstan a destination that goes beyond the ordinary. If you're into outdoor activities, for example, Ala Arka National Park near Bishkek offers hiking, climbing, horseback riding, and wildlife spotting in its natural habitat. If you're looking for an immersive cultural experience, the World Nomad Games are held annually, bringing together competitors for traditional events like horse racing, wrestling, and archery. It's hard not to be amazed by the contrast between the towering mountains and the traditions inherited from past generations, all blending with a way of life that adapts to modern times. This harmony is what makes Kyrgyzstan such a fascinating place, a country that preserves its traditions while embracing the present. Now we want to hear from you. What stood out the most about Kyrgyzstan? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the perfect time. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. See you in the next one.